What is up, YouTube? Andrew here. Today I want to talk about, well, not today, it is 11:30 at night. So tonight I want to talk about the questions I asked myself when I was thinking about getting involved during undergrad. So back when I was in university, I joined a ton of different clubs and organizations, and I had an absolute blast with them and ended up meeting a lot of other students through those clubs and roles. And a lot of the younger students that I spoke to would ask me for my advice on sort of like what clubs they should join, if joining a club or an organization is a good idea, and just the lifestyle of being a student in classes along with being a part of some sort of organization. Now, as I got those questions over time, I started asking myself why I chose the organizations and clubs that I did and why I went for the opportunities that I ended up getting involved in. And there was a lot of factors into why I made the decisions I did, but when I was talking to those younger students and I was thinking about my time, it really boiled down to three questions that I asked myself. So today I want to share with you those three questions and hopefully encourage you to think about the kind of clubs or organizations you want to join during your undergrad or your time in university or college. Now, I won't get into why I think joining a club or organization or just getting involved in some way is important. I'll save that for another video. So today, let's just jump into the three questions that I asked myself before I joined a club or an organization. Now, when you are joining a club or an organization, you are giving up a bit of your personal time to something else. So it's important to pick something that you're interested in and you will enjoy giving your extra time to. I sometimes see advice out there encouraging people to join clubs or organizations or apply for jobs that are really just focused on making the most amount of money or thinking about long-term career plans. Now, it's important to join something that you're going to enjoy being a part of because you are giving up some personal time for this. It's going to be a great opportunity, but you're going to want to commit to something that you're going to put your effort into. So seeking out opportunities that are aligned with your personal interests is a great place to start. If you join something you feel like you need to, you are not going to put the same amount of effort or emotional investment into it because it's going to feel more like a job or a tedious task. But if you join something that you have a passion in or you're interested in, you're more likely to commit more energy and time and investment into that. So for example, I've had a lot of friends join pre-law societies or organizations that focus sort of on the law side of things. And those are important to them because they really want to go into law. However, throughout the year that they were on the club, all they really did was attend meetings and join in on discussions periodically and maybe go to an event or two. And that's cool, and I encourage people to do that. However, they're joining that club or that organization specifically to try and get something out of it, to try and add something on their transcript or add something on their resume to show that they are interested in law. But they didn't do enough in there. So when you join a club or organization, you really want to show that you have contributed to it in some way. Now, I know it's a bit of a touchy subject, but I do believe that if you join an organization that looks good on paper, but you don't do much with that organization, you're really not helping yourself. So on the flip side, I've had friends instead join environmental organizations because they're very passionate about the environment. And in those environmental organizations, they actually ended up researching more environmental policy. So because of that, they ended up getting the experience that they were looking for about law and policy, but through the lens of something they were passionate about. So before you go ahead and join an organization, think about what you're really interested in, what you have a passion for, and what you're curious about, and filter for those. Because if you join an organization that you're more interested in, you're more likely to commit that extra time like my friends did with environmental policy, and really chase new opportunities and flesh out that experience fully. So before you join anything, be it a club, a volunteer opportunity, a part-time job, you want to make sure you know upfront what the time commitment is. Because different opportunities come with different time commitments. Certain roles are going to require more time from you, and certain roles are going to require less. So look at your schedule that semester, look at the classes that you're taking, the other commitments that you have, and then see what opportunities there are that fit into your extra time without overloading your schedule. So for example, during my second year, I worked at our campus fitness center. So during that semester, I had actually taken more classes online, so I had more of a flexible schedule and could fit in the extra work hours. I wasn't a part of too many other extracurriculars, so I could really commit the extra time to working at the fitness center along with focusing on my classes. Contrast that with my friend who was really interested in mental health support on campus and joined an organization that focused on peer-to-peer support. the total time commitment per week was approximately 7 hours. But he was able to do that along with an extra role on campus and his classes because he had a flexible enough schedule. Basically what I'm saying is this: before you join anything, look at how much the actual time commitment is. Now compare that with the rest of your schedule, your class times, your study time, your personal time, and anything else you need to consider, and see what is really doable for you. The last thing you want to do is overload your schedule, so make sure you maintain a healthy balance. So getting involved on campus is really a give and a take because you want to contribute something to the experience, but you also want to get something out of the experience as well. Now, what you can give, it doesn't have to be very intense. You can give your time and your genuine interest, attending meetings, engaging in discussions, and going to the events that the organization puts on. You can offer your time or your friendship. I often encourage students to get involved because it's a great way to meet other students in areas that you're interested in, especially when it comes to classes. For example, when I joined the Political Science Society, I ended up meeting a lot of students that shared my classes with me. And throughout the years, I ended up making a lot of really good friends in my programs and also getting study partners for those classes that I was taking. So for example, if you're really good at social media, you can offer your support there to grow the organization's social media awareness over time. Now, everybody has a different skill that they can contribute. So when you're thinking about joining an organization, also think about what you can offer and the skills that you have to really support that organization in whatever it's trying to accomplish. Now, in terms of what you can get out of the experience, that varies based on what you're interested in. Perhaps you're interested in learning more about event management. So when you join the organization, you can see if there's opportunities to organize and lead a small scale events. So you can get that experience and learn more about that skill. Other examples are learning about public speaking, so going and doing class talks. Fundraising is also one, so supporting charity events or doing bake sales. Another advantage that often goes overlooked, but I think is really important, is the opportunity to meet and collaborate with staff members and faculty members. A lot of student organizations, especially the ones that focus more on the academic side of things, have the opportunity throughout the year to meet with various faculty members. So if you're interested in meeting faculty members, joining a club or organization that's related to your major or your academic interest is a really good place to start. And then ultimately, like I said before, joining a club or organization or getting involved in some way is a great opportunity to make friends. As I mentioned in a previous video, many of the friends that I still talk to this day, I met when I was involved in some capacity. So that's just a small example of looking at the give and take. So when you are looking for an opportunity to join an organization or get involved, look at both what you can offer and what you're hoping to get out of the experience. When you have a good understanding of what you want to offer and also what you want to get out of the experience, you're able to contribute a lot more. Now, you'll hear me say this all the time, but I am a really big supporter of getting involved when you're in college, university, or even high school. Obviously, I'm biased, but if you are considering it in the slightest, I highly recommend it. But before you do, make sure you think through these 3 questions, so that way you can figure out what you want to do, what the time commitment is, and then what you're able to contribute along with what you're hoping to get out of the experience. So that's it for me. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Now, obviously, I've spent the entire video talking, so I want to hear from you. If you are involved in some way in college, university, or high school, leave a comment below and share what you're doing, because I'm really curious about the different opportunities that there are out there. If you're curious about getting involved in some capacity and there are certain subjects that you're interested in, also leave a comment and let me know what you're passionate about or what you're curious about. And if you'd like to stay up to date with me, click the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. That's it from me. Take care.